Welcome to this episode of Giving Your Dog Its Best Life. I'm Jeannine Smith, Canine Educator. We all love our fur babies and want to make the most of our years together. Join me as we discuss all sorts of ways to give your dog its best life. We'll cover a bunch of topics: health, training, challenges at different developmental stages, from puppyhood to crossing the Rainbow Bridge, and maybe just a little bit of storytelling centered in how deeply we love these amazing canines. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments or via email at Jeannine@edupups.com. I'd love to hear topics you feel are important to your life with your pup. Together, we can speak, live, and love dog as we give your dog its best life. Welcome, dog lovers. This first podcast will be a short intro about me and future podcast topics. I've always loved dogs. I grew up with hunting dog breeds because my father was a hunter, so I grew up with setters, spaniels, and Weimaraners. My own first dog was a golden retriever, which I got at age 11. I trained Joshua for obedience and hunting, even though I never hunted. Then my focus flipped for many years to children, since I was a teacher for 36 years and a mom of 3. But I never lost my love for dogs, from Chihuahuas to Great Danes. There's just so many breeds to love. As my teaching career began winding down, I began training dogs on the weekends and breeding golden retrievers. That became my full-time occupation once I closed that school chapter. Training dogs is so rewarding. One of my favorite things to do is actually work with an entire family so that all of them give the dog the same message. It really is so much fun to do, especially with a puppy and small kids, so that the puppy learns that those children are not puppies, but they are part of the pack, but they have to listen to those kids. And the kids learn not to hurt the dog in ways that they don't mean to hurt the dog by pulling their ears or that kind of thing. I've worked with many mixed breeds, multiple doodle hybrids, all sorts of purebred dogs, from terriers, beagles, pit bulls, German shepherds, huskies, Aussies, collies, spaniels, retrievers, Great Danes, you name it. I do admit to a very soft spot for Goldens because it's what I've bred and what I currently own. For me, breeding was a passion. I was determined to breed only the best in breed, which is easier said than done. A few of the most amazing dogs that I deeply loved had some type of health issue. A lot of times it was something minor like an eye issue, a cataract, or something with their eyelids. But I felt that it just meant they would not be a good candidate. That meant rehoming my dearly loved fur babies. But I refused to cut corners. I am proud of each and every pup that I have shared with families. I would love to help you find a reputable breeder and a breed or type of dog that would fit well into your world. And of course, I have the deepest respect and empathy for shelter dogs, many of whom do not deserve to be there. My hope is to help families pick the right fur baby so they remain forever with that family. Breeders and rescue groups can work together for the benefit of all dogs, and you'll definitely be hearing from different rescue groups and shelter groups here on this podcast. As I said, my husband and I have 4 Goldens, 3 of whom traveled with us from New York to California. But that's another story. Let me tell you just a little bit about each one because each one had lessons for me. Jazz is almost 10, the mother of almost 40 puppies. Jazz is my heart dog. She has been a therapy dog since she was 13 months old. She has been to schools, nursing homes, and hospitals. But birthing can take a lot out of a dog. After her fourth litter, she was 92 pounds heavy with a low thyroid. I would watch her pant after a walk, and I knew she had to lose weight. Obesity is the number one reason for early canine fatalities. So I've changed her diet. I've upped her exercise. She is now 68 pounds young. She hikes, she swims, she plays like a pup. And I'd love to share with you how I helped my heart dog. Kimmy is 6.5. I call her the ungolden golden because she doesn't have some of those typical qualities. Oh, she retrieves like a fiend. She loves to do that, but definitely not a fan of water. And she did not like to let her feet leave the ground. She had some of the best hips that were ever tested according to my vet, but she does not like to jump. As a puppy, she was very shy and timid. She was very afraid of the car and would usually pee and vomit from just fear. She has come such a long way. She is now a therapy dog who snuggles us on the couch and sleeps in our bed. We definitely need to talk more about Kimmy in our future podcasts. Rosie is 4.5, Jazz's daughter. I wanted her to be a mama dog so much. Jazz's puppies were so amazing. I really wanted to continue that line. Rosie had everything I wanted as far as breeding, health, temperament, intelligence. But it was not in the cards. It could not happen. So instead, Rosie has inspired me to become a children's author. Many of my picture books have some type of Rosie connection in some way. Why did she inspire me? Well, Rosie is kind of quirky. She is expressive, intelligent, and she's kind of mischievous. She reminds me a little bit of like a pre-teenage girl sometimes. She was my chewer. She's the only dog that I've owned that I've ever had to make vomit. And I've had to do it 4 times for her to try to make sure she was going to be okay and not have to have an operation. We definitely should talk more about dogs that chew like Rosie. Orvie is our boy. He just turned 3. He is such a sweetheart. He's Kimmy's son. He is extremely athletic, which is why I was shocked when our boy leapt into a lake and sunk. He inspired me to write Orvie Finds His Paw Power. We've had to make a difficult decision about our sweet boy. It might be something you'll need to think about with your mail. We'll cover that in a future podcast. Well, let's talk about podcast topics. Health. How to avoid the vet whenever possible. Let's find you a good dog fit. Let's help you learn how to speak dog and to understand what your dog is telling you by its actions. You might have training concerns. Training can be issues that everyone has, like leash pulling to dogs that are reactive or fearful. Can you stop your dog from barking? Can you stop your puppy from nipping? Does a small dog have to act like it's tough? Or can a small dog be calm and confident? The answer to all is yes. I believe happy dog means happy life for you. You'll hear from different experts in the canine world, trainers, vets, rescue organizations, shelter groups, and even pet owners who wish to share their experiences with you. I think back to how much I've learned over the years about dogs. Things like vaccines, what to feed my dog, when to spay or neuter. How can I use holistic means to boost the autoimmune systems? There's so many things I would love to share with you so you can learn from my mistakes as well as my expertise. I really want this podcast to fit your needs, so I want to hear from you in the comments or via email. This is your forum to get the answers you need. We all love our dogs. You must, or you wouldn't be listening. Together, we can give your dog its best life. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Giving Your Dog Its Best Life. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like and subscribe down below. I welcome your comments here or at Jeannine@edupups.com. Together, we can speak, live, and love dog as we give your dog its best life.